Alright guys, sorry for the slightly nude version of me here without my shirt on, but I'm just getting out of the shower. Sorry, apparently I had a phone call that I'm not going to answer. I was in the shower this morning, got to thinking, which is where I do most of my thinking now when I'm tired. When was the last time this country you think was united? The fact of the matter is this last election has brought out the absolute worst in America. We're so divided it ain't funny. We're divided on race, religion, gender, sexual preference, politics, state lines, football teams. We are seriously divided on every front and in every way imaginable. And a house divided cannot stand. It just doesn't work that way. When was the last time you think this country was really united? Because we claim to be the United States of America. Truth be told, we're just the States of America, because we're not united at all. For me, the last time I remember this country actually being united, really standing together, was 9/11/2001, the day the towers fell. They brought up a lot of emotions for a lot of people, and I was just a kid. I was only 14. When them towers fell, it was fear, hatred, distrust, anger, malice, empathy, pretty much any emotion you could think of. But we were in fact united. It's been a long time since that day. Over 15 years now. We were, as a country, we were hurt. We were pissed. Americans were dying. People were jumping out of buildings to try to have a chance of survival. Thousands of Americans were dead by the end of the day. But we were united. Suddenly it didn't matter what state you was from. It didn't matter what God you prayed to. What color you wore, where you worked. Nothing. As a country, we were scared for our first responders, our officers, our EMTs, our doctors, our emergency room personnel. And we were pissed. We wanted blood. We wanted to find out who attacked our country. And we were mad as hell and we wanted blood. We hated whoever it was. Didn't matter who it was. Some people said it was the Muslims. Some people said it was various countries. Some people were already saying it was our own government. But as Americans, we were pissed. Full of hatred. And we wanted somebody to pay for that. The sad thing is, that was the one fucking time in this country, in my lifetime, I remember us being united. We quit being Democrats and Republicans because both parties wanted war. Both parties wanted somebody to pay for what had happened. We quit being black and white, quit being Christians and Muslims and Buddhists and Jewish and God only knows what else. We quit caring. We held hands and prayed amongst different denominations, amongst different religions. I did. I was a real big Bible thumper back then. I prayed with Jews, I prayed with Muslims, I prayed with a Buddhist. And we didn't care about the differences in gods and how we worshipped. We stood together as Americans. Over 15 years ago, we stood there and proudly thumped our chests. Is that we were Americans. Didn't matter. And I dare even go a step further and say that we were New Yorkers. I'm from Ohio, born and raised. I never stepped foot in New York. I was a New Yorker that day. Those were my countrymen and women in those buildings that died. Those were my people in those planes that died. I was 14 years old and I wanted blood. I wanted to crush the enemy. And that was the last time we was united. Really, the only damn time we can be united is under hate and under war and over the bodies of our dead countrymen and women. That's all we've got going for us, America. We have been told we are the greatest nation on this planet. No, we're not. Not sure if we ever were, but I like to believe we were. The reason so many people flood to come here, floating on rafts made out of trash and, boats and digging tunnels and whatever they've got to do to come here. So I believe we were in fact the greatest country at one point. But the only time that we're united anymore is over hatred. We finally find one thing we actually hate together. And that was our dead countrymen. Do we really need another fucking 9/11 for this country to unite again? For this country to agree that as we put Americans first? 9/11 and the days following, we didn't give a damn about immigration. Canadians flooded over our northern border to help in the search and rescue efforts, to help provide relief. We didn't give a damn. Because they quit being Canadians. They were Americans those days. We would take help from anybody that was coming in to help us recover. We were united. Thousands died. Thousands more have died since then. And that was the only time we were fucking united, is over hatred and death. That's sad. That really is sad, and it's pathetic as Americans that that's our view. The only thing that we can actually agree on is hatred. I see so many religions scream peace and love and charity. The tolerant left is love trumps hate, and we've got to love each other and we've got to be inclusive. And the right are saying that we need to support our country and be patriots and defend our Constitution for all Americans. Truth be told is the left is not tolerant of the right. The right does not give a damn about their country, their Constitution, or their people. I'm not saying I want it to happen. I hope it never happens again. But maybe we need another 9/11. Maybe we need a few more thousand dead Americans spewed across concrete in the streets. Maybe we need our first responders running into their death. Maybe we need firefighters gasping for air as they throw their masks back on, running into a burning building only never to come out. Maybe we need a few more fucking kids on planes slamming into buildings. Maybe we'd be united again. People, put the hate aside. They want us divided. They want us separated because that's easy. I'm a straight white, married 30-year-old, millennial by the way, with kids. So I'm supposed to hate everybody else. I'm supposed to hate the blacks. I'm supposed to hate the gays. I'm supposed to hate the Christians. I'm supposed to hate the Jews. I'm supposed to hate the old guys. I'm supposed to hate the new generation. I'm supposed to hate fat people. I'm supposed to hate people that are unemployed, people on welfare. I'm supposed to hate all these people because they're not exactly like me. Why the hell am I supposed to hate anybody? Yeah, there's people that's done me wrong, and those ones I'm not going to pretend like I give a damn about. But it's because they did me wrong. Done me wrong. Not because they're a different gender. Not because they're a different race. Not because they're a different religion. Not because they're a different generation. But because they did me wrong. You see, you people are playing into their hatred. You people are giving them what they want. Because you're biting into their hate. You're fighting because you're Republicans and Democrats. You're fighting because you're gay and straight. You're fighting because you're a millennial and you're the baby boomers in your generation X and Y and Q and P and whatever the hell else they're calling us. When did we quit becoming Americans? When did these extra labels matter more than American? Arms. That's government property, as I'm trying to angle my phone. The tattoos I got when I was in the Marines. I was proud of my service to my country. Still am, actually. I know some people ain't no more, but I'm damn proud I wore that uniform. Because I stood up for Americans. Every one of them. That's right. I stood up for them evil Muslims, so they're free to practice their religion. I stood up for the black man, because he's an American. I stood up for the old man and the young man. I stood up for those not born yet and those on their deathbed. And that's what uphold my Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. You know who the biggest threat to this country is? You know who the biggest domestic terrorism is? Americans. Because we'd rather hate each other and fight each other and beat on each other and spit at each other and throw bottles of piss at each other and to put all them dumbass labels aside and shake hands. That's a major problem in this country. We don't want to meet in the middle. We don't want to be weak and extend the olive branch. The only thing that unites this country is our hatred of each other. Our hatred of outsiders, our hatred of insiders, our hatred of the other side. We're supposed to hate everybody. I know hate. I have hated. And I'm talking that true, raw, wouldn't piss on you to put you out of fire kind of hatred. It's exhausting. It's tiring. It gives you gray hair. And it gives you a very bad headache. It also gives you a hell of an alcoholism problem. But that's another topic. That's the only thing we got going in common. Everybody hates everybody. Everybody hates the other guy. Because the other side is a threat to their well-being and their belief system and their ideology. Maybe the other side is somebody that can teach you a different view. The 9/11 drop, the towers went down. We were told it was the Muslims. Them evil Muslims. I had a Muslim girl in my science class I prayed with. Knowing that people that claimed her religion had killed my countrymen. We prayed together. Her holding a Quran, me holding a King James Version Bible. She called on Allah, I prayed to God. She called on the Prophet Muhammad, I called on Jesus. All of that aside, the one thing I remember her saying, please don't blame me because they attacked our country. Not my country, not her country, our country. We were 14-year-old kids, and it was our country. When did it quit being everybody's country? When did it quit being our country? When did everybody start being told to get the hell out? This is America. We don't make refugees, we accept them in. We don't run when shit gets tough. The only running I've seen this country do when them towers fell was people running to New York. Bringing food, water, blankets, bringing their search dogs. Bringing their trucks and their shovels to dig out the survivors and find the dead to bury them. And even that day, the only damn thing that united us was fear and hatred. We were scared for our country. We were scared for our family. We were scared for our loved ones. We were scared for the guy we didn't know. And we hated whoever made us feel that way. 15 years later, the only damn thing we've still got in common to this day is we're united by hatred. The problem is now, instead of hating a common enemy, we hate each other. We hate Hillary supporters. We hate the Trump supporters. We hate this guy. We hate that guy. I'm so goddamn tired of hearing everybody hate everybody and fight everybody and fucking be pissed at everybody. Grow the fuck up. Be an American for once. Quit hating the guy next to you because he's different. Every day I turn on Facebook and I see something about these crybaby ass millennials. Millennial generation officially started in 1983. I was born in 1986. You guys posting that dumb shit hate me? Many of you call me a brother. Many of you I've stood beside. Many of you I have rallied with to raise food, to raise resources, to help people. But remember, you gotta hate me. I'm a fucking millennial. As a vet, I'm supposed to hate civilians because they don't understand it. I've stood shoulder to shoulder with vets and I've stood shoulder to shoulder with civilians. I've met good and bad in both. People, we seriously need to contact Congress and petition to change our country's name to just the States of America because we are no longer united. We have not been united in a long time, and that is a shame. A crying fucking shame. Because you would rather play into the elite's hands and into the world power's hands to keep us divided and fighting instead of uniting and actually being great. Imagine if everybody put just a little bit of their hate aside and decided to replace it with support and love. Yeah, I know that's cliche as hell. I don't care. I'm tired. I've been up for like, I don't know. Let's see, that's 12, 13, 14, 17 hours. Had a rough weekend at work. Supposed to be in bed. So I'm going to be cliche. I'm also going to be brutally honest. Quit hating. Quit finding a reason not to like everybody. Here's a crazy ass idea. Try shaking hands. Try introducing yourself by name and not by race and religion. By political party. Most importantly, hold a damn door for somebody. Something that small. Say hi to a stranger at the store. Wave. Do something. We'll get back to being the United States of America and not the divided States of America. Quit letting hate be the only damn thing in this country that unites us. We're better than this. At least I used to think so. Now, I don't. Now, I think our country is a laughing stock of the world because the only thing we have in common is hatred. But on that note, people, it's been 16 minutes and I'm tired.